Harappan civilization planning of houses. People lived in houses of different sizes, mostly consisting of rooms arranged around a central courtyard. The view from the lane into the courtyard was blocked off by a wall. There are remains of staircases that may have led to the roof or a second story. The fact that some of the houses at Mohenjo-daro were 2 stories high or more is also suggested by the thickness of their walls. Floors were usually made up of hard packed earth. The ceilings were probably over 3 meters high. The doors and windows of houses were made up of wooden mats. Harappan civilization, the planning of cities, the roads were not always absolutely straight and did not always cross one another at right angles, but the settlements were clearly planned. There was no strict correlation between the level of planning and the size of the settlement. Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, and Kalibangan have a similar layout consisting of raised citadel complex and a lower city. At Lothal and Surkotara, the citadel complex is not separate. It's located within the main settlement. Dolavira consisted of not two but three parts: the citadel, the middle town, and the lower town. Mahatma Gandhi's ideologies: truth, non-violence, satyagraha, swaraj, trusteeship, swadeshi, sarvodaya, and belief in masses. Truth is the relative truth of truthfulness in word and deed, and the absolute truth. Non-violence, according to Gandhi, was to denote active love in every sense. Non-violence or love is regarded as the highest law of humankind. Satyagraha means the exercise of the purest soul force against all injustice, oppression, and exploitation, and the method of securing rights by personal suffering and not inflicting injury on others. Swaraj, Swaraj meant the sum total of self-rule of individuals, and Gandhi clarified that Swaraj meant freedom for the meanest of his countrymen. Swaraj is much more than freedom, it is also about self rule, self restraint, and could be equated with moksha or salvation. Sarvodaya, according to Gandhi, was universal uplift or progress of all. Belief in masses: Gandhi believed in the capacity of masses to drive any movement. Social empowerment: Gandhi challenged the existing systems. He realized the issues of lower caste and worked for the emancipation of the social and moral underprivileged. Gandhi's role in Vaikam Satyagraha uplifted the moral duty to allow untouchables to enter the Hindu temples. His campaign against untouchability, covering 12,500 miles, lasted for over 9 months. He considered untouchability as a mixture of social and moral problems. Gandhi's approach also encouraged them to undertake welfare activities among the untouchables in a spirit of remorse and guilt. Gandhi's active participation in social women empowerment. He promoted actively participation in mass movements of women. Women played an active role in non-cooperation movement and civil disobedience movement. Gandhi actively participated in 1918 Ahmedabad textile mill strike. Sarojini Naidu's role in the Darsana Saltworks raid during the civil disobedience movement, Gandhi's constructive programs such as the promotion of Khadi, ending untouchability, economic philosophy of Gandhi, he aspired for a classless society with no poverty, no hunger, no unemployment, and education and health for all. He targeted European made clothing and products as not only as a symbol of British colonialism but also a source of mass unemployment and poverty. Gandhi transformed contemporary capitalism and centered on the notion of trusteeship and denying material pursuits and coveting wealth, with the practitioners acting as trustees of other individuals. Gandhi's role in Hindu Muslim unity, fostering Hindu Muslim unity during the Lucknow back 1916 and during the Khilafat and Rowlatt movement. He fought for the rights of peasants and workers. Gandhi's Champaran Satyagraha was a calculated non-violent protest. He managed to win concessions from the planters for the indigo farmers. Keda Satyagraha, Gandhi started a signature campaign where the peasants pledged non-payment of taxes and arranged a social boycott of revenue officials, which forced the government to relax the conditions of payment of revenue tax until the famine ended. Gandhi's role towards the national freedom movement in encouraging boycott of British goods and organizing mass protests. Salt Satyagraha, Gandhi organized a 241-mile long protest to the western coast of Gujarat of Dundee, where he and his acolytes harvested salt on the shores of the Arabian Sea. Gandhi's role in environmental sustainability, his role in cleanliness and promotion of Swachhata Hi Seva. Veer Savarkar vehemently criticized Gandhi's allegiance with Khilafat leaders. The failure of the Khilafat movement and the huge communal clashes that followed was unforgivable to Veer Savarkar, and it was against this backdrop that he wrote his treatise on Hindutva in 1923. Historical sources. The Vedas. The word Veda comes from the root word vid or vidya, meaning to know. The Vedas have the status of Shruti, which means it has been heard. The category of Smritis, which means remembered text, includes the Vedanga, Puranas, epics, Dharma Shastras, and Niti Shastras. Each Veda has four parts, the last three of which sometimes blend into each other: the Samhita, Brahmana, Aryanka, and Upanishad. The Rigveda Samhita is a collection of 1028 hymns arranged in 10 books. The Sama Veda consists of 1810 verses, 1810 verses. Sama Veda verses are borrowed from the Rig Veda according to the needs of musical notation. The Yajur Veda deals with the details of performance of rituals. Atharva Veda is the latest Veda and containing hymns but also spells and charms reflecting aspects of popular beliefs and practices. Brahmanas are prose explanations and some of the Samhita portions. Aranyakas interpret sacrificial rituals in a symbolic and philosophical way. Upanishads, totally 108 Upanishads, among which 13 are considered as the principal ones. The Mahabharata consists of 18 parvas or books and has two main decisions, a northern and southern. Mahabharata was composed by Vyasa. Why cooking gas is costlier and what lies ahead? As international crude prices have surged due to the war in Gulf, over 70% of households are estimated to use LPG as their primary cooking fuel, and 85% of households have LPG connections. The hike in prices will impact household inflation and could further hit subdued consumption sentiment. Since November 2020, the price of LPG has been rising. A 14.2 kilogram cylinder in Delhi now costs rupees 949, rupees 355 are nearly 60% higher. Steady increase in crude prices due to the recovery in demand following the easing of COVID restrictions, slow restoration of production by oil exporters, the Russia-Ukraine war, and the now Gulf War have contributed to the rising prices. India's LPG prices are benchmarked to international prices of petroleum gas. Saudi's national oil company, the Saudi Aramco, set the price for LPG. The price of India's crude oil basket was $41 in November 2020. It increased to over $115 as on March 23, 2022, after the Russia-Ukraine war. For most consumers in May 2020, the government had stopped subsidies on LPG cylinders. Rising international gas prices have also impacted the price of piped natural gas and compressed natural gas supplied by city gas distribution companies as they source imported natural gas in addition to domestically produced natural gas to meet demand. Households LPG dependence. LPG is the primary cooking fuel in more than 70% of Indian households, and 85% households have LPG connections. However, 54% households continue to use traditional solid fuels such as firewood, dung cakes, agriculture residue, charcoal, kerosene, either exclusively or with LPG, increasing the exposure to indoor air pollution.